Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
High grade pharmaceutical audio. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
Dig it. Dig it. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
How much truth do you put in illusion? And do numbers lie? Sometimes. How much of what we see and hear today is bullshit? And how much of it are we responsible for ourselves? The hard exterior is so common these days. I grew up with that. I'm used to that. I relate to that even. Now there's a different one. In the movies, the monsters used to be clear about who they were. Now it's not that easy. And these monsters hide behind illusion and they hide behind numbers. Different kinds of vampires and different kinds of wolves, and they're everywhere. And you carry them around and keep them as close to you as possible, all by your own choice. But you won't find anything as honest as Frankenstein's monster, or near as sexy as Count Dracula. No, it's way worse. Now they look just like you do, but just a little bit better. How do you know? The number. Because suddenly that matters when before it didn't. But there's definitely some witchcraft going on there. Some spells being cast on the numbers to make it look like a more safer place for the wolves and for the vampires. And any vampire will tell you, they don't enter your home without being invited. And how many of them are there already? Hello and welcome to The Record Shop, the podcast that feels like an album. I'm Keith Maki, and per usual, we are here to be your sound solution to your prescription for some high-grade pharmaceutical audio. So without further ado, let's get into this. There are 5 of us here in the house, and we all have our own particular taste in everything, not just music. But if there was one band that would possibly be the collective favorite of the entire household, it would be Royal Blood. And to my and all of our welcome surprise, Royal Blood being the pair from the UK of Mike Kerr on bass and vocals and Ben Thatcher on the skins. And my pops is quick to note how much sound these cats put out for being a 2-piece band. And there's no arguing that, and their brand new track, 10/10, proves that in spades. And I like to sometimes sit on info so I can surprise everyone in the house, but that wasn't gonna happen this time. The song came out a couple of days ago, and we've listened to it so much that I already know most of the words already. But I will not be singing them. If you want a show where the host sings, check out Third Floor Assessments with Dave and Dakota T-Bow, dropping every Thursdays. But back to the music. Royal Blood decided to produce the new album titled Dead Company themselves. Written with the stage in mind, the album drops November 13th and features 10 brand new tracks. And as much as I can't wait for it to be November, I can't wait to hear this album. If it's anything like their 2023 album, Back to the Water Below, it's going to be a stellar record, and that gets a whole lot of airplay around here still to this day. And in their idle time, Mike's been getting down into some marathons, and because of that, he says the band are playing harder and faster with more intensity, and you can hear that in 10/10. I assume that the rest of the album is going to be the same. And I really hope so, eyes peeled and ears open for that one. Returning with his third straight EP, Mikey Shoe's alter ego, better known as Glue, is back with the Ponyboy EP. And Schumann says he wanted to make the set a little more aggressive and faster pace. I don't know how much more aggressive I would say it was in the tempo, at least on a whole, but I love all these songs, including the title track, which definitely is more aggressive, than normal for this project, which he hopes to be more akin to artists like Beck, who have no except one style. He does whatever the fuck he wants. That's Schumann's words. And I think this set exemplifies that. The rest of the songs on here include the dreamy numbers L.A., where Schumann pulls out the classic hip-hop style flow and his vocals, which is a major staple in the personality and, causing it to be really unique, which is not easy. Also on the EP is a cover of the classic song Crush, the 90s pop hit, which is nothing like the original at all, but it does have a way more sinister feel to it with Mike's gravelly vocals. But the final song on the EP, I have to admit, I'm digging the most. And I was excited to see that the song Bombs Below was written originally for the Mini Mansons, his band with Tyler Parkford, who I've said on many occasions how big a fan of both of them really I am. And the song definitely has their vibe to it, and we here at the record shop love that. And in my home, it would be awesome if this was the foreshadowing of a Mini Mansions reunion when Mikey Shoes is done touring with his little-known side project you may have heard of, called Queens of the Stone Age. And if anyone is aware of what's going on in northwest Indiana right now, a massive storms hit, leaving a lot of the people there without power in a lot of areas and causing a gas shortage, making it for some, really tough living situations. And unfortunately, right in the thick of that is my partner and the general of the Powers Point Network, Scott Powers. Luckily, though, him and his family are safe. And if you want an interesting listen, he put out an episode of the Powers Point podcast going into a little bit of detail as to what it's like in the heart of this catastrophe. And he plays a soundbite of the storm, and it's extremely scary. And I thank God him and his family are okay. But if you want the real deal, check that out. And of course, check out Static Temptations, DJ Scotty P's all beat, no speak dance revival, dropping every weekend for your ears and for your posterior. And while the Minister of Chaos is set to bring his Chaos Syndicate back to Backbreaker Wrestling, going down hopefully this Saturday at Hillbrand Hall in Griffith, Indiana, starting at 6 p.m. And if you dig old school wrestling with a retro feel, it's a good time and affordable for the whole family. So go check out our guy who has his boys in at least 2 matches that night, and tell him you heard about it here on the Record Shop. Bringing out the second chapter to his One Assassination Under God project, Marilyn Manson is getting back to being himself, it seems, after some obvious legal issues and the passing of his father. You know, the persona may be the same, but the man behind it is going through some shit. So I'm sure getting back to his bread and butter, that is making music, has to be a high priority for him. And while I feel like some of the songs on this project show some vulnerability, they're definitely not all that way. Songs like Front Toward Enemy hits as hard as anything else in his catalog, and I like it. The second chapter dropped on August 14th, so there's no waiting this time. You can dig into both chapters, and the latest single, Unalive, has dropped along with a new video to go with it where B-Dub suits up and makes with the dark imagery and some shots looking a little similar to how he did in the Mechanical Animals era, now minus the fake boobies. So if you like his videos, which seem to be a big part of his aura, and for good reason, you know, some of his videos for songs like The Dope Show, Beautiful People, and obviously his cover of the Eurythmics classic Sweet Dreams. But I still think Annie Lennox has you beat in the scary department there. Sorry, bud. But my favorite of all Marilyn Manson videos is probably The Man That You Fear off the Antichrist Superstar album. And if history says anything, I'm sure there's going to be some wild videos for this album, because there are definitely some cool new tracks that are very video worthy. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. With this episode taking on a darker theme, it's only fitting that it would coincide with the original god of heavy metal riffage, the legend himself from Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi. Taking a break from backing up Robbie Williams. Yeah, he did that. But when you're him, you can do that. He recorded a new album that goes by the name From the Dark, and it's actually been 21 years since his previous solo album, man. I like that one a lot, with some awesome guest spots on it by Dave Grohl and Billy Corgan, among others. The first single is already dropped, and if fans of Black Sabbath are expecting tasty riffage, good luck. And it don't take long to deliver. The song is called World Alone, and it has some crushing guitar and some wicked vocals, opting to use the same vocalist for the entire project, from what I understand. And in his words, he brings a little bit of the Viking spirit to the album, and being Nordic myself, I can appreciate that. His name is Jorn Land, and he's a Norwegian singer that has a bunch of his own stuff as well as a bunch of covers, and he does it all under the name Jorn. And they call him the Norwegian David Coverdale, which is pretty funny to me, but funny is not the word. For this song, World Alone, it's a nasty doom rocker. What normally would be described as having a Black Sabbath feel, but in this case, it would be for good reason, right? And pre-orders are being taken now for this new record, so look forward to the new Tony Iommi, or Tommy Iommi, as my buddy Scott calls him. Said I tried too hard to be funny. Maybe it's because I tried too hard to be kind. I grew up as a fat kid, so I knew no matter where I went and who was around, the fat jokes were coming, and I was gonna have to defend myself at some point. So trust me when I say, I can verbally slice you to shreds regardless of who you are. Because I know I can take it back. Most people are visibly insecure about something, so it's easy. The best way to me to ease someone's tension in any situation is usually to make a joke. More than that, I have self-deprecating humor, which, it's a hard word to say. We'll try that again. More than that, I have self-deprecating humor, which makes already uptight people extra uptight because for the life of them, that's the last thing they would want to do, would be the butt of a joke. So why would they do that to themselves? Because I feel like there's a difference between what people don't see and what people don't say. And me, I'm a recluse who loves isolation. So being social at all is more work than it's worth to me most times, to begin with. I prefer to get lost in some form of creative venture, and there's simply not enough time in the day to devote the amount of attention that I want to that, so I'm far from antisocial. I just have my interests, and I feel bad for people who don't. But when I find myself in a social situation, the only two ways for me to be is really friendly or really not. But I always go with the friendly, and to me, friendly is funny. Although I'm probably more funny when I'm not friendly, but you won't find that out, I promise. But in the end, I'd rather choose love and fail at being funny than choose vanity and fail at being cool. Or I could just tell you to go fuck yourself. And that will conclude another episode of The Record Shop. I'm Keith Maki, and as I said before, you can find me on Instagram at Maki's Record Shop. So, if you go on, drop me a message and I'll talk to you back. That's what I'm like. I ain't one of these too cools, That's not my ways. But what are my ways is being the sound solution for your prescription to some high-grade pharmaceutical audio that you only get here at The Record Shop. So while my voice cracks, I will talk to you next week, and until then, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop. Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record Shop.
Maki's Record